Alright, quickly before we start, under 6% of you guys are subscribed, which I understand. I usually forget to subscribe to channels pretty often, but if you guys could drop a sub, a like, and a comment, whether that's something positive or some feedback, it does help a ton. But with that out of the way, let's get into the video. Alright, what's up guys? In this video, I'm going to be going over some general tips on PvP and Tarkov. So I've created a few videos on this, which can be found on my channel or in the top right corner. That go over like simple things like aim for the head and always remember to take fights if you're looking to improve. In this video, I'm gonna be going over more like mechanical things that you can actually do while in a raid, while during a fight. So with that out of the way, let's get into it. Okay, really quick, I know we said we would start, but I have a Discord, which is in the link below, which you're free to join, and in there are quite a few channels, including one which is for video requests. So if you guys have like a video you would want to see, be sure to join the Discord and let me know. But yeah, that's always open to ask questions or anything you need. But yeah, so now with that out of the way, now we can get into the video. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is repositioning in fights. So this is like a pretty general topic, but a lot of people don't implement this. So many things I'm going to be talking about in this video are like pretty broad understandings of in multiple video games, but if you actually think about it, how often do you reposition? So basically what I mean is if most people are in a fight, let's say they come through this door in dorms and they're peeking out, someone's down there by marked room, right? And they're trying to fight them. How often are people actively trying to make an effort to reposition? So especially for newer players, you can toss a grenade or something to obstruct their view, and then you can move in here, right? Now you're in a room. Now you're what? This much closer to the fight, especially if you're using an SMG, right? So you can, it doesn't even have to be a grenade, just something to block a line of sight, right? So now you're down here, the person's still probably down there in marked room, toss a grenade out, and then when that grenade's going off, you can move up here. Because when that grenade is going off, it's forcing them back into the room, right? So now imagine if we have somebody in there, we can toss a grenade in there, and now we're in this kitchen area, right? We started out down there, and now we're right here. So especially if you have an SMG or a close range weapon, this is more likely where you want to be. You're up close with the person, and it's going to be more of a skill based match instead of a luck based match about who can get a headshot easier. Now even this, right? Toss your grenade, and then you can, while their grenade's going off, move into here. Now once you're over here, if he tries if he's in the second story or anything, you have this whole line of sight, right? So you went from all the way down there with one room to now you have basically all of this to the left. That's all essentially your area that you've claimed, and now your enemy is in one of these rooms, probably in marked room over here, because that's a common place. Right? So he's either in marked room or he's in this bathroom kind of hiding, maybe even in this room. You have this entire space. Before, this was all his space. You've gained this entire space, and you can maneuver in and out, right? So if you want to run over here, he's shooting at you. You want to go into this room, it's fine. Toss another nade down there. While that's going off, you can run back over here. And this is forcing him into the room, right? He's not peeking you while you're doing this, but you're gaining so much ground on your opponent. So what I would recommend is literally going into a dorms raid and starting somewhere and then just practicing, imagining someone's in that room down there, just getting ready and tossing a grenade down there, and then while the grenade's going off, you run over here. The grenade doesn't have to be thrown in this room, right? Because even if the grenade is just tossed right there in the middle, he's not going to be running out, because obviously this grenade is going to kill him. So just thinking about moving up and getting closer to your opponent using repositioning. Now, with that being said, there's always something that you can do, which is, repositioning to get out of a fight. So, which is going to bring me into my second PvP tip. It's probably one of the most important things you can know in this game. Running from a fight or disengaging from a fight is something that you want to learn how to do, and learn how to do properly, and something that you shouldn't be afraid of. So, if you're losing the fight, if you're taking a lot of damage, the guy's a better gun than you, he's more skilled than you, you don't have to take the fight. Especially if you're a new player, we're 5 months into the wipe, people are gonna have good gear, and you're not always gonna be able to outclass them, even if you do have better skill. So it's okay to disengage from a fight. You know, like this game's supposed to be like a ultra realistic shooter. Imagine how many times like people like disengage from a fight like in real life, because you have to value your life more important than like the chance that you might kill someone. Because what's more important than like peeking out here and like taking some fights is maybe disengaging and getting a better position. So getting out of fights, right? So like imagine if someone's down there and they're holding you with an angle, or they're in marked room and they have better gear than you, and or they're just better overall. There's like a few things you can do, like on a dorms example. So for one, there's a little window right here that you can drop off onto, which is definitely good to learn, and I would recommend doing that. You can probably find a video on that. But then like just another thing, using grenades, right? So imagine like if someone's over there and they're constantly peeking out, right? Toss a nade. You can get all the way down here before this dude's even trying to peek out, because he doesn't want to die to the nade. But look how much ground you've made. So basically, he doesn't have much many places to go. So he can run out onto the balcony right there. But then again, he has to know how to get to this window if he wants to escape without breaking his legs. But even so, you got a sightline right here. He comes off onto this balcony, just he's dead. You got him. So now there's like, this is almost contradicting to what I said, but that's important to learn both, right? So if you're here and you feel like you're in a game of chance, push in, close the distance to be able to drop that dude. If you are too close to him and you feel like you need to disengage, know how to disengage and practice doing that, and feel comfortable like getting out, and just in general coming over here, right? Like look, if you can get up here, he can't really hit you from over here. Like if there's someone outside, you might want to be wary of that. But dude, he walks out and just boom, he's dead. So disengaging is by no means like something that you shouldn't do. It's something great, and it's definitely a tip that I would practice. Okay, and so now we're gonna be going on to the third major tip, which this is gonna be something more mechanical. So the last two, which was engaging and disengaging, was more like like more of like ideas that you should keep in mind. But this is something that you should do like while in a fight. So let's imagine someone's down there, or hold up. Let's just say you're coming up the stairs and someone's over there holding an angle and you don't know exactly what to do. So you can peek out like this, but he could have a chance to kill you, right? And by the time you're going like this and your weapon's up and firing, so let's just see how long that takes, right? Like by then, especially if you're sprinting, like he could have already tapped you. By the time that you line this whole thing up with his head, he's already been waiting at head level for you. So instead, what you can do is while running, push down your mouse wheel and then look to the left or the right, depending on which way you're running. So this is like a free look, right? So it doesn't affect which way you turn, but it kind of like it allows you to look around. So when you're running, you can go like that and kind of look. Okay, so if we use this like in an actual instance, right? It's not the best. Like by no means is this gonna like give you a full clear view, but like you can definitely see down there like while sprinting across. So it doesn't even give your opponent time to kill you, but it does, that's a solid like second of time that you're staring while you're still sprinting and getting out of the way. And to add to this, you can even jump while doing it, right? Oh. Right? So just it doesn't matter as long as you like get like a quick peek of them, right? You're there for like half a second and you get enough of a view. So one last time. No, shoot. Apologies. Like that. You can see anyone standing right there, right? So don't be worried about like getting shot, because that's it's not going to give your opponent enough time to actually hit you. So this is something that I would definitely recommend using. It gives you a ton of intel, and yeah, I'd implement this in your game. Okay, so the fourth tip is going to be effectively clearing a room. So what I mean by this is, let's say you're up here and you came in through this door or something, and here it goes. You came in through this door, and someone is in this room. They just shot a few bullets at you. You ran into... All right, let's open this up again. You ran into this room, and you know that they're still in this room. You don't know where in this room they are, but you know they're in the room. So the first thing that most people do is they're like this, but then they keep just moving around like this, and then they're dead. So what you should do instead, is effectively clear a room to the point where the last possible place is where you're going to be able to pre-fire. So an example would be you start over here, right? He can't be over here. You can kind of see. Okay, right? Right? You're looking at the corner, so nobody's in that corner. You know that corner is clear, so the left side of the room is pretty clear. So now you start making your way through the corner. So when you're moving in and out like this, there's going to be like delay on his screen. So if you're actively moving in and out like this, you're going to see him before he sees you. So if you're like this, right? And then you see no one's in the corner. So where does that leave him? If no one's in this side of the room and no one's in the corner, he has to be over here. So instead of just peeking all the way out like this until you die, right? Instead, you know, toss a nade if you have it, or what you can also do is just pre-fire him, right? I don't have any ammo in my gun right now, so I can't exactly show you. But, right? Just pre-fire him right there. You know, this is clear. And this can be done quick, right? Like, I did it slow to show you, but it's like, right? No one's there, no one's there, no one's there, and he's dead. Or, right? So let's say you clear this out, and then someone turns out to be in the corner, but since you're jiggle peeking, boom, and you just tap him right there. You see him before he sees you, like I said before. And then you're able to kill him right when you see him. So this is way more effective than I see a lot of new players like trying to clear rooms like this, where they just like walk around, exposing their whole body. So by the time you're seeing, like, think about if this person's in the corner, you can probably not even see them, but if they're in the corner, like, look at that, they can see your entire gun, right? And you can barely see them. But if you're right here, they see everything. They're watching you before you get to see them. Instead, you know, play it smart. Go through one by one, and then tapped, wherever they are. But yeah, that's just something like that you should keep in mind when you're clearing rooms. Okay, so for tip number 5, it is going to be changing your movement speed. So this seems like something pretty obvious to most people, but how often do you think you actually change your movement speed to be as tactical as possible to keep yourself from dying? I would say like not too often, right? Most people want to go as fast as possible, which is good in some scenarios, but also you want to keep it slow. So if you kind of listen to the sound, can't hear much versus, right, me running around, a lot more sound than if I'm just walking. And I don't know how well it's going to come up on the video, but you can try this in your own game. So hitting the caps lock key takes your movement speed all the way down to 0. So you're barely moving right now. So this is pretty useful in scenarios like, let's just say someone's below you and you don't necessarily want to know, you don't want them to know that. When you're running around like this, especially on this kind of floor, they know you're down there. Versus if you change this and even crouch, very difficult for them to hear it, right? Especially like if you're moving slowly, you can toss nades. While you're tossing those nades, like no one's hearing you move up, right? So like you're moving slowly, and all of a sudden you're right in their face, and then you can move fast just by hitting your key again, right? Just go all the way down, and then you don't even have to hit caps lock. You just hold shift again, and you start sprinting right away. So shifting your movement speed to fit the situation you're in is something that is often overlooked, and I would recommend doing doing it more often. It's super beneficial, and I don't know, most people neglect it, but it's in there for a reason. So I would definitely it's all about game sense. You kind of got to learn when is it best to use what kind of speed. So that just comes from playing. That's not really something I can tell you, but yeah, that's just something I would look over. All right. The last tip is going to be hip firing in Tarkov. So if we check it out, the hip fire is incredibly accurate, right? So if we point the laser right here, it's going to go right there. And if we point the laser over here, see where that laser is? Bullet hole. Bullet hole, bullet hole, bullet hole, bullet hole, bullet hole, bullet hole, bullet hole. So wherever the laser is going to be pointed is where it's going to be going. So if we point a laser, let's say at this wall right there, right? At this white area, that's pretty far for hip fire. All of those shots are hitting. So compared to other games like Call of Duty and like R6 or whatever, most people don't understand like the accuracy of hipfire in this game, which is fine. Like you're not supposed to, because it's unlike most games. But the hipfire, even without a laser, is very good, right? So especially when you're running through a door or something. Let's just say this target is a door. If you're running through somebody and you just gotta just hipfire just so you can get the kill off without wasting like the second it takes to aim in, that's okay, and don't be afraid to do that. get used to hip firing, and that's one of the best tips I can give you in this video. Hip firing will save your life so much. The few seconds it takes to aim in and position your gun can be the deal breaker in a lot of situations. So don't be afraid to hip fire. And that's just like, it's a super solid tip that I would definitely recommend you guys start implementing in your game. All right, guys, that's pretty much going to be it. So like I said before, there's a Discord in the description. You're welcome to check that out. And if you liked the video, definitely give me a like and a sub helps a ton. But yeah, thank you guys for watching.